So maybe if you're out somewhere and you see that your phone is already 20%, you will stop using your phone a bit because you'll be like, oh, okay, I want my phone to be with me for a longer time, so you will stop using your phone. Think of changing your smartphone due to battery issues. I mean, camera, processor, storage, these are the things that people think of, but battery is again another thing that usually comes to our mind now that when we are thinking of changing your phone. And you switch on power saving mode frequently. I know a lot of people who actually have their phones running on power saving mode throughout the day. These days we have this low battery anxiety, and we have a name for it. It's nomophobia. So, dropping, just dividing this phobia would literally mean no mobile phone phobia. And globally, we've seen so many reports that, that say that people are increasingly becoming a part of this nomophobia. It has a lot of elements. It has, basically being detached from the smartphone. It means literally that. And, anxiety about dying batteries is the most, the biggest trigger of nomophobia that we've seen in people these days. And just to have a support on this, there was a study done by Counterpoint recently, of which OPPO was a part, and that showed 3 out of 4 people in India have nomophobia, which is almost 75% of people. I'll just give you a moment to see the numbers that are there on the screen. These are pretty high numbers, quite alarming, a few of them. Personally, what alarmed me and really was I was amazed to look at a number. It was the 87% figure. 87% of us are using our phones while it's getting charged. Now we all know, we've seen videos, we've heard news that it's not a safe thing to do, but still 87% of us are still charging, using our phones while it's getting charged. 92% of us are using the power saving mode, like I said. It's even if it's charged, you're still using the power saving mode, 92%. And male users are more anxious. We have a detailed report on this. I'll share, we can share the report with you. We have a detailed report. Even if people are carrying 2 phones with each, each of them, they are still anxious about the low battery. So we saw these results and we realized that we should have a phone. Phone is a very basic necessity for all of us, and we should have a phone that we can depend on. I mean, you're investing so much in a phone and you can't depend on that, and you have to charge it multiple times. You have to replace it after a few years because it's not working well. You can at least, you need a phone that you can depend on. And that's why we had OPPO F23 5G, which is spec, literally spec to tackle low battery anxiety, to provide all-day battery backup in a single charge. I'll come to the numbers. We have figures to prove it, that this is a phone that can be with you all day long with amazing features. These are the top specifications. We'll be going through all of them one by one. 5000 mAh battery, 267 watt, super fast charging, PHE, smooth performance, and the camera. We'll be going through this one by one. So, starting with the battery. That's the hero of this phone. 5000 mAh battery. I mean, I don't know, maybe after this briefing you can look at the phone. It's a very light phone. It's a very slim phone, and to have 5000 mAh battery in this slim phone, it's a great art of engineering itself. To have a 5000 mAh battery. And if your 5000 mAh battery phone is completely charged, it can actually run 16 hours of YouTube videos. I mean, if you're traveling from one state to another state, watching a YouTube movie, maybe across several states, it gives you 16 hours of YouTube videos continuously on a full charge. And if your phone dies, obviously, it would have low battery at some point in time. It has a 67-watt super charging. So, like I was saying, I don't face low battery anxiety because I have the superbook charging, and honestly, I am very spoiled by it because just 18 minutes and 50% phone is charged. 44 minutes, I mean, you wake up, you do your daily routine, you go have a bath, have your breakfast, and by the time you are ready, your phone is also ready. In 44 minutes, 100% is charged. And even if you don't have time, if you're charging it just for 5 minutes, you're still good for 6 hours of phone calls, 2.5 hours of YouTube videos. So it's literally, a lot of power in your hand that this phone is giving. Now, with so much power, obviously you will say, is it safe? I mean, 67-watt charging for a phone. Obviously, in earlier times you would have said it's not safe, but we are protected on that front as well. We have the battery health engine technology, which is OPPO's proprietary tech. Now, we developed this tech, only to conserve the battery health. It's a very technical thing, but I'll break it down for you. So, if you're charging your phone once daily, 365 days, maybe twice some days, I'll still take it 400 times in a year. 2 years, 800 times. So after 2 years, your phones will, the battery will start depleting a bit. It wouldn't perform like it was performing as earlier. Obviously, the battery health deteriorates. But what OPPO's battery health engine is doing is it's actually supporting 1600 charge cycles, which is 4 years, double the conventional battery, which you guys have, which you might be using. So for 4 years, you can use the same phone at the same speed, the battery won't deplete, it would be working on the same level as it was working when you had, bought it earlier. Then we saw 87% of us are using the phones while it's getting charged. For that, we have the 5-layer charging protection. So from the adapter to the fuse, every layer is protected. Earlier, just the adapter bit had the, safety bits, but right now, the complete protection, the complete process is protected by 5 layers of protection. And then the all-day AI power saving mode. Now we are using the power saving mode. People are actually downloading a third-party app for a power saving mode. But with this, you don't need that. And especially, I love the super nighttime standby mode. So generally, this is a great example of how AI is used. And then the phone is getting charged throughout the night, which is not good for our phone. I mean, the charging would be completed in 2 hours, but it's still plugged in the charger, which is not good for our phone. But if we switch on the super nighttime standby mode, what it's doing is it's slowing down the process of charging. So the phone will intelligently through AI detect that okay, from 12 to 6 you are sleeping, so it will slow down the process and then it will charge the phone slowly. And then by 6 a.m. when you wake up, the phone would be completely charged. So it's not actually charging with full flow throughout the night, and it's not hampering the battery of your phone. I have a small video for the battery health engine. It's a very smart video, and you understand about how the battery health engine is actually working in our phone and how a normal battery is there in other phones. Got this award from SEAL Business Sustainability award. So we got recognized for the work that we are doing for PHE, and because we have such a battery, we are also helping the sustainability and the environment, because lesser batteries out there, we are actually protecting the environment with such kind of technologies. Coming to the 48 months of fluency. Now we have a habit of passing down our phones from one person to the other person, and when the other person gets it, most of the time they are like, oh, it's not the same, it's not having the same fluency that, the first person had. But with this one, it has so many things that the fluency, the smoothness of the phone would still be there. How? It's powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 695 5G SoC. So basically, this is a 5G phone, ready out of the box, usable 5G phone, powered by NSA completely. We have 8 GB RAM and 256 GB storage. Now, this is not the only storage that we have in this phone. 8 GB RAM can actually be expanded virtually by another 8 GB. So in previous generation, we have RAM expansion of up to 5 GB, but with this one we have another 8 GB. So literally 16 GB of RAM, for a smooth experience. 256 GB storage we have, but you can always, you have a slot to expand it for another 1 TB. It can support a 1 TB of storage. Now cameras. I think cameras these are a really important factor for all of us when we are buying the phone. 64 MP AI camera, 2 megapixel depth camera, and 2 megapixel micro lens. Now I'll tell you what these cameras would actually do. There's this 108 megapixel, you can take a 108 megapixel, shot from this phone with the OPPO's AI portrait. So there's a feature in the phone where you can go and switch on the 108 megapixel mode on, and with that, we are using the Nona Pixel Plus binning technology. So 9 pixels are actually accumulated to create one super pixel, and that's how a 108 megapixel picture is taken. What it helps you with is when you zoom into the picture, it won't it won't wither, or it would still be very clear, because 9 pixels have been used to create 1 pixel. So obviously the image quality would be really amazing. Then we have the digital zoom on the micro lens. It's a really fun feature. In the previous generation, we have 15 and 30, 30x zoom, but with this one we have 20 and 40x zoom. So literally, maybe when you have the phones, you can test it out. You can actually get into the fabrics, and a fun feature to use, getting into the details of of your object. OPPO's ultra night mode. Obviously, we go out for parties, or we go for family dinners, or family functions, the weddings. We need a phone that can click good images at night. So we have it protected with the ultra night mode, which can actually take crystal clear pictures. I have few more modes that stand out in this phone. The portrait mode. Amazing depth of field. You are highlighted at the front with the back getting blurred. It's an amazing feature. Then the AI portrait retouching algorithm. Now we have our R&D center in Hyderabad. They have been working on this AI, to work upon it, and to enhance it. And right now it can actually detect 373 facial features on your phone, on your face, and according to that, they can enhance, they can retouch the picture that has been taken. So when you test the phone, you can see that there are different modes which you can select, and then once your face is out, you're taking a picture, they detect several points on your phone to take a better picture for you. We have the AI color portrait. You can be at the front in color, and the background would be black and white, which is it looks really aesthetic when you take a picture with that. And then of course the micro lens. So if you see, there's a crystal, and then with the micro lens you can actually see inside the crystal. There's a bird, and that is a a really microscopic level picture of the bird's feather. Then the design. I showed the design earlier. It's a really thin, beautiful looking phone. This is the bold gold color that I have in my hand. There's a black color as well. It's a 3D curved design. So at the back we have the OPPO Glow design, which is actually fingerprint resistant. So I've been, touching it, and when you have it in your hand, you actually see that there are no fingerprints on this phone. So this makes it, dust and water resistant as well. So yeah, on the camera there's a decorative ring, and there's a panel which creates a different kind of look from the back. So moving to the screen, it has a 120 hertz refresh rate, and a 6.72 large display. It's a so yeah, it's a beautiful display to have. It has a Netflix and Amazon Prime, certification. So L1 Wideband certification. If you are viewing Netflix or Amazon Prime on this phone, you can view it completely in an FHD plus. Amazing display. You'll be able to see. And the 680 nits, the maximum peak brightness. So even if you're outside in the sun, you won't be affected by the sun to view your screen. Now ColorOS. ColorOS is another thing that we take pride in, the operating system that we've worked on and we've improved through the years. This phone has the latest version of it, the OS 13.1. It has so many features, but I'll tell you about the one feature that I really like is the screen translate. So we've been doing these briefings across the cities, and we were just doing a briefing in Ahmedabad, and we got a story in Gujarati. I wanted to know what the story was all about. So I just switched on the screen translate, and within microseconds, this complete story was out there in English for me to read. And I didn't have to use a third-party app. I didn't have to upload it anywhere. It was just out there on my screen. So yeah, we have other features, and of course, safety and privacy is something that is really important for OPPO. So this ColorOS 13.1 definitely takes care of that. Now, the high quality stereo audio system. Now, when we are viewing the HD quality stuff on Netflix and Amazon Prime, you would want to have a good noise system. So generally in our phones, when we do the volume up, it goes to 100%. But when I would do it here, it goes to a maximum 200%, which is an ultra volume mode. So when you're viewing it, when you're keeping it like this, and you're viewing, watching, Netflix or anything else, it can actually be boosted. The sound system can be boosted up to 200%, and this is of course tested by Direct. So it gives, a kind of certification that it is definitely a good quality. Now everything is fine. The cameras are good, the battery is good, but if the phone is not durable, it won't make any sense to have, a good phone. Trust me, we take, each of these phones go through, a really hard time testing. We have a manufacturing center in Noida, and we've gone to the labs and we've seen how these phones are tested. There are 1 lakh tests done on these phones, and each of them go through really a hard time. I'll show you a small video about all the tests that are done on this phone. I forgot to mention it earlier. 32 megapixel front camera, 2 color options, gold and black, 6.72 display, and 120 hertz refresh rate, 5000 mAh battery, 67 watts superbook charging, and of course, everything in a 5G phone, because 5G is the demand for today. So 5G phone, and all this comes for 24,999. It's available on Amazon, OPPO stores, and mainline retail outlets everywhere in India. So yeah, this was OPPO F23 5G. If you have any questions.
After 1 year, we have apps getting in Google space, and we slowly down, slowly in performance. So, in what way this capability will have an upgrade because we do in preference separation? Are there any hardware updates?
Okay, yeah. So we will be having the updates from ColorOS. We will be getting a lot more updates. The security and the Android updates will be following up. But apart from that, if you saw, we have the virtual RAM. So once you have a bigger RAM, it just extends the fluency of the phone. So of course, from 8 GB, it's actually extending up to 16 GB. So, 16 GB virtual RAM will obviously give you a fluent, more things to store it. And then 695 processor in itself is a good processor. When we were having a chat with Qualcomm team also, they themselves said that, this is a processor that they are really dependable on. For the 48-month thing, we've actually done tests in our OPPO lab. Running these phones for 48 months, the fluency. About how these phones would perform for a longer time. So yeah, we have these tests run on them internally in OPPO labs.
How many Apple service centers in Chennai? What are they now?
So in Tamil Nadu we have 30 centers, and in Chennai particularly we have 4 centers.
In terms of sales, how can we go online and all?
So, in the last few years, we've realized that online is also an important market for us. So we have, a good amount of bifurcation between the two. But for specifically F series, we've seen a major growth and major response from the offline partners. So for F series, I can definitely say that the offline perspective of the market would be important, but yeah, again, it would depend on the phone and the IoT product that we have, that what would be the bifurcation. And with OPPO, we've seen that we keep it, we try to keep it 50-50 for each of them. Depending on the product, we then change the factor. Like for F series, like I said, the offline would be important for us.
Exchange.
Exchange policy. Exchange policy. Oh, you have I think it must be there in the press kit. I think the amount must be mentioned there. The exchange policy. No, there's a pamphlet, separate pamphlet that has all the offers. Yeah, that has all the offers that are out there. Related to exchange, the bundle offers, bank offers, everything is mentioned out there.
What is the life cycle of the product?
Life cycle. So, like you're saying, for 4 years, we are promising that it would run smoothly. The battery health engine, from 4 years perspective, it's out there. For other things, for durability perspective, again 4 years. 48 months fluency, which is again 4 years again. So yeah, I think for 3 to 4 years, and even after that, we are not saying that the phone would be of no use, but definitely even the battery. So what happens is generally when you take a phone, the battery depletion starts 10%, 15%, 80% from the first year itself. In our phone, after 4 years, the battery depletion would start by maybe 5-10%, but that would happen after 4 years. So of course, I think from durability perspective, definitely 3 to 4 years, the phone would run the same way like it would right now.
You just said that you promised 4 years of life, right? So does that come with a warranty?
No, so it's not a warranty. Warranty would be basis like how we sell it and the warranty. I think we have this warranty period. This battery health engine is only securing the battery. Of course, we are only talking about the battery, which is safe for 4 years. The warranty would, have a lot more things inside it, and how the about the breakage or other things. But we are only talking about from the battery perspective. The depletion of battery that would definitely be there for 4 years.
How many Android updates?
So they are going to be, I think, three years of Android updates and 4 years of security. 4 years of security updates. From OPPO product PR team. So we are here in Chennai to to have our latest F23. Is a highlight because it is a great phone for battery, and we feel that this is a phone that can combat nomophobia with its amazing huge 5000 mAh battery supported by 67-watt supervook charger. And that's not it, it has a great 64 MP camera and 8 GB plus 256 GB storage. The 8 GB RAM can always be expanded with another 8 GB of virtual RAM, and the 256 GB can be extended for with up to 1 TB of ROM. So yeah, these were the some highlights, and it's a great 5G phone powered by 695 Qualcomm Snapdragon and ColorOS 13.1 OS. So yeah.